Welcome back again, everybody here. That's when I'm coming now. That's good. We only need then the president to be. Can we starting again? The president is gone. Let's celebrate. Okay. The last thing I talked about before the lunch was branding. Then Antje kindly told me that we need to talk about one brand. And I hope all of you have then, during lunchtime, thought about what's your favorite brand. I had a discussion yesterday with Jackie. We had the opposite brand in the IT technology. I was Microsoft, she was Apple. And our kids were different, weren't they? So now let's see and use the Slido again. Now I want you to type in the brand you thought about during lunchtime. And we'll see it here on a word cloud. So please type in the brand you connect with, the brand you like.
That should be very interesting.
Yes. Tom's. What's that?
It's a shoe brand.
It's a shoe brand.
They give a pair of shoes to people in need for every pair of shoes you buy.
Okay, wow. Apple, I thought. Jackie have voted, probably. Zalando, Gibson, Austria. Austria? What is that the brand? Samsung, Liverpool. Duvel, now we're talking. That's good. Dior, Chanel, Mercedes. Where's Microsoft? Where's Microsoft? You are. Channel, is that a brand? Elsa, I don't know that one. Three Spirit. Let's see some more come. It seems again like Apple wins.
A lot of luxury brands mentioned.
It is. Liverpool as well. DAS. Now we're coming to we're entering the topic now. That's for sure. Okay. The next question on Slido, because it seems like Apple wins this time as well, will be: how do you connect? What are the reasons you connect with that brand? What are your reasons to identify with this brand? And you can mark two answers here. Is it the quality? Is it the experience? Is it the memories? Social acceptance? Loyalty? High quality of the product? Yeah, two is possible. Two answers, yes. Hello. High quality seems to be the main driver.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm also interested about that. I agree. The experience, loyalty. The brand supports my image. I would say that's a 90% for most of us.
Yeah.
But I will let you comment on that. So I will now give the word to Kyle Grobel. Groble.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I tried yesterday as well. I didn't manage that, and not now as well. You are a sponsor.
I am, yes.
The conference.
Yes.
We're very happy with that, and Antti is very happy with your skills in digital marketing. We will hear you now talk more about brands and how that we can connect to the branding in our business.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kyle. I'm the CEO of Seek the Just. I'm also a lawyer who's broken up with traditional law, a digital marketer, and a legal design consultant. I should mention that I'm also a dog person. Now, you'd think that as a lawyer and a marketer, it would be easy for me to convince my partner to get a puppy. But this wasn't the case when I brought up the subject in 2015 in an airport lounge on our way back to Cape Town. The conversation didn't go as I expected. I excitedly showed him pictures of a litter of French bulldog puppies that were available and pitched all the reasons why I wanted one. I mean, have you seen them? They're adorable. They don't bark much. They're great for apartment living. They're affectionate, and they're great with people. A few minutes into my pitch, he simply said no and told me that it wasn't the right time for us to get a dog. Let's just say there wasn't a lot of talking done on the way back home, but it did allow me to delve into a book that I was reading at the time on emotional intelligence. Maybe you've heard about it. It's by Daniel Goleman, and it's a best-selling book. The book inspired me to dig a little bit deeper and to step into his shoes, and that's exactly what I did. So when we got home, we spent weekends with friends who had dogs. I volunteered us to take the dogs for long walks on the mountain, play dates on the beach, and we even let one or two spend the night at our apartment. I was on a mission to sell my puppy dreams to my partner's emotions instead of using cold, hard internet facts. Long story short, 3 months later, we welcomed a puppy into our home. Now, I know you didn't fly all this way to Vienna to listen to me talk about my dog, even though I could spend the whole day talking about him. So let's talk about what matters to you, your customers, more importantly, their feelings and emotions. Our customers are just like you and me. We all crave to belong, to be understood, and to connect, not only with others, but with brands as well. But studies show us that half of customers believe that brands don't know how to engage with them. As few as 1 in 3 customers feels that brands actually truly understand them. It essentially boils down to a lack of empathy and trust on the part of brands. It's something that millennials and especially Gen Z demand. They care very, very deeply about a brand's purpose, its values, and its position on societal issues. Millennials have polarized opinions on a brand's emotional intelligence, more so than older generations, the good and the bad. And Gen Z is even more energized in this regard. While these youngsters don't have the same spending abilities as their parents, their feelings can have a huge impact on a company already. A lack of emotional intelligence can easily get a brand cancelled. The thing is, brands need to develop and nurture more emotional intelligence, or what we call brand EQ. But what is emotional intelligence? The term was first used by psychologists in the 1960s, and it was defined in this book that I spoke about earlier. Basically, it refers to our ability to read the room and act accordingly, to understand moods, behaviors, and impulses, to manage our emotions and those around us. Some people have more emotional intelligence than others, and the same goes for brands. If we can understand and use our customers' emotions, we can empathize with them and adapt our marketing strategy to influence them at the right time and at the right place while building meaningful connections. But why does emotional marketing work so well? It is because we feel our way to reason. Honestly, we do. We make most purchasing decisions subconsciously and intuitively using a very deeply empirical part of our brains, and it follows its own set of reasoning. Our subconscious decisions connect with our conscious mind through emotions. The brain then looks for rational reasons to justify that purchase in an attempt to make us feel safe about our decision and also in control of our own lives. If we can tap into customers' emotions, we can actually get them to buy our products and services, especially online. But is it possible in a world that is becoming ever more complex and digitally driven? I get asked this question all the time, and I say absolutely yes. The pandemic may have pushed us into a digital overdrive, but we shouldn't forget that the future that we are building is for human beings. Even tech giants like Microsoft and Google know this. Studies into their emotional intelligence show that they're prioritizing the needs of customers more than ever before. As we gain access to the same technology, our competitive advantage lies in being as human as we can. If we put people at the center of what we do, if we amplify our messages through digital, we can reshape how the world sees justice and legal protection. To do this, we need to shift from being product-centric and becoming customer-centric, or as I call it, human-centric, honing in on specific needs. Instead of telling people about the benefits of having a French bulldog, we should show them through the experiences that we create. We need to listen to their needs, and we need to meet those needs. The last couple of years saw us market to the masses online. And because our audiences were broad, we could get away with generic messages that were very much focused on the rational components of our products, such as the price, the benefits, who we are as a company. The thing is, we see so many ads every day. It is estimated that we see between 6,000 and 10,000 ads per day, but we can only process so much information at a time. Plus, our attention span is decreasing. I think Microsoft recently found that it has shrunk to around 8 seconds. And while 8 seconds might not seem like a long time, it is definitely enough time for us to establish an emotional connection if we're smart about it. I'm not just making this up. There are countless studies on this topic. Emotional marketing content performs twice as well as only rational content. Marketing initiatives that evoke emotional responses increases sales. And as businesses, this is something that is, of course, very important to us. We're constantly looking for new ways to grow our revenue. Ads that communicate strong emotions like trust, love, anything positive goes viral because it resonates and it influences people to take action. I wanted to share a couple of examples that aren't necessarily related to our industry, but definitely is inspiring, and we can take some valuable lessons from that. Take Coca-Cola, for example. I remember years ago, their marketing was very much orientated, trying to convince people about how convenient it is to take a bottle of Coke home. And even if we go as far back as the 1950s, trying to convince people about the health benefits of drinking Coca-Cola. They don't talk about this anymore. In a recent campaign that they launched at the start of the year, they spread positive messages in their campaign, almost like resolutions for this year after a long, hard time during the corona pandemic. We are also scared about what big tech is doing with our data. And I find Spotify's approach to user data very interesting, and an interesting way of unlocking new value for customers. Each year, they've got a wrapped campaign where they share listening insights with their users. And then, of course, who hasn't seen Dove's ads on billboards or on TV? They're not telling us about the benefits of using their soap. They are taking a stance on issues that affect women and society at large. Daniel Goleman breaks emotional intelligence into 5 components: self-awareness, motivation, empathy, self-regulation, and communication. It provides an awesome framework for us to do meaningful marketing in a very human way while still delivering on our business objectives. But the financial industry, and may I even dare to say the legal industry, ranks quite low for emotional intelligence. We need to do more to understand the emotions that drive customers to come to our business. If we can understand the emotional journey that they're on, we can build an interesting persona around our brand. Let's delve into the first component of emotional intelligence for brands, and that is self-awareness. It is only natural for us to put focus on our products and services, but customers care more about who you are than what you sell. So who are you, and how do you ensure that you stay true to that? It's about how people perceive us. What do customers like about you, and how can you do better? Remember to also ask the people who show interest in your brand and never sign up why that is the reason. Next up is motivation. I see so many companies who have websites and are active on social media because they know that they need to be active online. Their competitors are. But they don't understand the importance of creating an experience. Outline your motives, whether it's sales orientated or getting more traffic to your website or engagement online. By knowing what we are setting out to do and how we want people to respond, we can start thinking differently about what they get out of it. And we can also start having honest conversations about certain pitfalls and how we can overcome it. The interesting thing is, the clearer you are about your own motivations, the more self-aware you become. The third component is empathy. Stand in your customer's shoes and think about the things that they care about. Yes, marketing can be somewhat effective if we meet a need or if we solve a problem, but that doesn't make it empathetic. The more empathetic our approach to marketing is, the better our chances of creating marketing that resonates with our clients. If you find empathy a hard nut to crack, ask your customers on social media or other marketing platforms, or tap into your customer care lines and survey clients. Use that raw, unbiased feedbacks to then go back and update and tweak your motives. It is only when customers feel that we understand them that they actually start to trust our brands. With a deeper understanding of our brand, our marketing goals, and our audience, we need to re-examine our goals. Trust isn't a magic ingredient that we can go back later and just add on the end. It must be rooted in our goals, and it must influence every aspect of our marketing. The thing is, if we don't do it, it will go out of the door the minute we face a challenge as a company. To build trust, we have to be agile in our approach, and we need to avoid the urge to prioritize self-interest or doing and saying anything that could offend or alienate our customers. The final component is social skills, probably one of the most important skills for brands. Remember, there are humans behind our brands, and we are trying to communicate with humans on the other end. Be conversational, avoid corporate speak and legal lingo. Quite frankly, people don't understand it, and it puts a huge barrier between us, making it impossible to connect. Be intentional with content to ensure that the brand's human personality shines through. Emotional, intelligent brands know how to talk to people in a way that connects with them on a deeper level and builds rapport. I want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. Firstly, treat emotional intelligence as an asset that can boost sales. Not because I say so, because it's backed up by data. Work on the areas of weakness for the industry to make a positive impact and stand out. The industry has strong self-awareness, but lacks empathy and trust. Walk the walk, but also tell people about it in a clear and meaningful way. We need to shift the focus from selling more to helping more. Remember, Gen Z's pockets might not be that heavy right now, but they are our future clients. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be aiming our marketing towards them right now. They can be powerful advocates for our brands. Always be open to understanding our relationships with clients. The future is going to become more tech-driven and even more complex than it is today. We need fresh human perspectives to always make sense of the world around us. I thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much, Carl. That was very interesting, and I'm very eager to see how our marketing in our business now will be in the next 3 or 5 years. And it's all about emotions. As we
All
see.
about emotions.
Yeah. And dogs. Thank you. We have
Thank you, Kyle. That was really very interesting. And seems we have a lot to work on. And you were putting the emphasis on trust. And I think trust is really an issue for insurers. And I would like to ask you, do you have a concrete advice for our industry? What could be done in the next 2 years, let's say, to really improve the image and reach out to the younger generation?
I think the most important thing is for us to get stuck out of the current ways that we're approaching marketing and trying new things, listening to what people are saying about our brands, and also looking to other brands for best practices and examples. Trust is not something that you gain quickly. It takes a long time, but we need to show understanding, most importantly, of our clients, because, like I said, if they don't feel that we understand them, they will never trust us. And those 5 components that I just spoke about, the 5 components of emotional intelligence, it really is an awesome framework to kind of like look at marketing and brand positioning and break it down into goals to improve. I'm not saying over-invest in one of them. Maybe start with the industry's weaknesses and build from there. And I think it will help shape a brand that's more emotionally intelligent, and people will start to have respect for that brand.
Any more questions for Kyle? One question more, please.
Yes, I've got another question, and
Sure.
I think that you have analyzed the different brands in the finance industry, especially in insurance. For me, that was a kind of wake-up call because I've reflected what is the EQ in the Roland brand. Have you a very good example? Which brand has made an effort towards EQ? What can be mentioned as a good approach?
Okay. I think one of the brands that I can mention is Law for All, who Jackie heads up. They're constantly looking for new ways of talking to clients, doing research on, what their interests are, but more importantly, what their needs are. I'm always afraid of looking at other brands in the same industry, because what happens then is people start copying what others are doing. And that isn't the purpose of creating an emotional, intelligent brand. You need to look at your own company, your own clients, and see what the needs are there and grow it from that point of view.
Antje, please.
Yeah, I'm reading now. It's on now. I'm reading now from the chat here an anonymous questions which I find interesting, which I don't agree with, to be honest. The law is very emotional, so there is so much opportunity to play on that. I'm not sure whether that's true, to be honest, because law as such may evoke emotions, but it's not emotional. What do you say to that?
Yes, of course, when people experience legal problems, it's a tough thing to experience, and they go through a lot. So I guess in a way, we don't want to take advantage of that, but we can build it into our brand personality, showing support, not just when we have legal problems, but also throughout our life cycle as human beings. I think one of the things is, with regards to law brands and legal insurance specifically, is that people often look for help when it's too late or something has already happened. We need to think about how we can show people that this brand has relevance throughout their life in a supportive way.
Give him a hand. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. That's very interesting. So now we're going further, and we have a quite different angle, but still we are on the same focus by selling and marketing. We're now about to see one of the new companies who has thought new about these things to make the services and the insurance attractive to people, and especially for the younger generation. That will be what we will see now. Make them accessible, affordable, and also to be fair to meet the young people. That's the most important thing. We will then see Mr. Mikael Oberste from, what's his name again? Sorry. Get Safe, sorry. And we will have then Roger. Roger is a racing boat driver, isn't he? In the Suez Canal with the big tankers. So Roger, will you come up here and sit down, please? There you are, Roger. Hello, Michael. Everything all right?
Hello, Henrik. Thanks for the warm welcome.
Nice to see you.
And you're right, Get Safe is the new company.
That's right. Both of you are, yes. So a short introduction of both of you then. Mikael Oberste is in Get Safe, and he has already been in Roland for some years, also where I know him from. He was the head of business development in Roland and also corporate finance. Now, Michael, you are in Get Safe as one of the first mobile cross-border insurance. And I also saw on LinkedIn that you got your license just a couple of days ago. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And Roger, you're the managing director of Justice, the small boat in the big sea. Yeah, I'm very anxious to hear about what to see here you talk. You went online in 2017 and done great success after that. What we will do now is that we will make both of them have a small presentation, and then we will have a small discussion with both of them. So please, Roger, if you will start with your presentation, and Michael then afterwards.
Speaker?
Yes, here it is. So please.
My name is Roger Gösele. I'm from Justice. I'm the speedy boat from the CUP. We try out new things that are possible in a small organization that are difficult if you're a CAP with hundreds of employees. And we are agile. And can I have the presentation, please? Thank you. We are a legal protection insurance, like everyone else, but our difference is that we have a subscription format. It's like Netflix, Spotify, all those things. You buy it digitally, you pay it digitally, everything is digital. We are around now for almost, you said it, 2017, almost 5 years. We are fully digital. Probably we can talk about the fully later on. And we are part of the Allianz Switzerland group. That's the big boat. When we started it, we realized that it's probably not so clever to target the whole Swiss market. And what we already saw this morning, when you look at the different generations, Generation X, the baby boomers, the millennials, and the Zs, we focused on the X and the millennials. That was on the target group for our products, because we realized that probably the baby boomers will have problems with the digital concept, and the Zs don't need legal insurance yet. Probably this will change in 5-6 years, but then we will also adapt. And something else you will see on this graph is the gray part that is really big in Switzerland. That those are the foreigners. Especially in Zurich, you have a lot of expats. And one of the stuff in Switzerland is you have so many legal brands, legal insurance companies that have different names than in other countries. Meaning nobody knows CUP, nobody knows Orion, or nobody knows Protecta, COP, if you come from another country. And we realized that if we start a new brand, we will have the same disadvantage as the others, or in our view, an advantage. And we can also target those as an interesting group, especially the people as expats coming into Switzerland, also those Generation X and millennials. Then we started to have a better pictures. How do they look? What do they do? And we tried to have a picture of our potential clients. And we also realized that even there, almost 2/3 of the people started already the buying legal insurance digitally, but they did not finish it. And then we started with Justice, and we have the whole process digitally, meaning you buy the insurance online, you pay it directly online, same as you do it with Spotify, Netflix, or whatever. The whole contract management is absolutely automatically. nobody is doing that. It's happening in the background. And also the insurance coverage, it's happening kind of digital, meaning you have your digital file automatically in your smartphone. But something you will never be able to fully digitalize is the customer service. Customer service is always so important because they are the contact, because nobody buys the product that they just see on the website. They want to talk to you. They want to write a message. They want to send you a WhatsApp. They want to phone you, and they want to have some answers. And this really, really helps us to sell the product. And our customer service, I don't see them as sales organization. They're really answering and helping them, and they do a brilliant job. And when you look at our clients, you see the age. It's really fitting what we have. And there's also something that we didn't manage to do. When you look at the female-male proportions, we didn't manage to get more female customers. The market, but it's also for our mother company, is really male-oriented. That's something I think for the future. How can we target more women to buy an insurance? When I see you need 3 key elements if you want to sell an LPI digitally. You definitely need a brilliant customer service. You need really simple processes. Our product is simple, organized. You can buy it with 3 clicks. It's simple. And the most important stuff is you need an understandable insurance. And when you compare the Swiss products, you have about 20 different insurances, and nobody can tell me really the differences. Nobody understands. When you look at the terms and conditions, it's chanceless for a customer to understand what they're really buying. And if you would really put the customer in the center of your company, how would then the policy, your general terms and conditions really look like? And when you look at this, you see here a really big mismatch. The blue numbers, it's a study from 10 years ago about Germany, but I think this will be same in other countries. You see that the language levels of the people are below C1, and you see the orange numbers, those are the general communication that companies send out. And when you look at the general conditions, they are mostly at C2, meaning only 2% of your clients really understand what they are buying. What you can do is take your own general condition, remove all sentences with 2 commas, remove all sentences with more than 12 words, and this is what the client is understanding. And then even remove all legal words. And this is a huge problem if you want to sell it online. And our goal was to have the general condition on B1 and P2 level and to have it digitally. You can look at it. They look differently than from other companies. And I think this is something that you definitely have to do if you want to sell online. You must be understandable. And that's also for the client, for the customer service. You have to talk in the words of the client.
Thank you very much, Roger. That was very interesting. Michael is next, and while Michael is talking, I will go and rewrite my policy word.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. And first of all, I can't agree more. My name is Michael. I'm the CFO of the GetSafe Insurance AG, and I'm super happy to give you a little ride about our way to provide millennials. Next slide, please. One more. So who's GetSafe? Since 2015, the central theme of our vision is based on the awareness that the market is still missing great digitized insurance products. And to be honest, we have come a long way, but there's still a reason for getting up in the morning. And the 6-year journey of our company can be seen at climbing stages of our evolution. So in 2015, GetSafe started to manage the customer's policies portfolio as a broker. But we realized pretty fast that only selling products doesn't really meet the customers' expectations about real digitalization. So the second stage of our evolution was the MGA model. So we start selling label digitized product, but the learning was that if you want to really improve customers' experience, then you have to have the full value chain control end to end. And especially claims, as all of you know, is the moment for truth of customers. And to be able to handle claims, you have to be a risk carrier as well. So the last step of our journey so far is that pretty much since a week, Henrik just told it before, we reached the stage 3 of our journey, and we are now a full stack insurer for the first P&C products. So we still offer a couple of MGA products. And we strongly believe that that full stack insurer approach will lead us to reach across channels, products, and of course, multiple markets. Next, please. So serving customers is pretty much our DNA profile. And also, we don't really think in traditional targets groups. We are very popular, especially among the younger generations. So while preparing that presentation today, I thought about equal access to legal and if there might be a difference regarding certain generations. And indeed, there's a 3-part disadvantage for the generation Y and Z. And the first one is pretty easy and not new at all. Income is highly correlated with age. Less income means less money to spend, and so less chance to coverage. And the second disadvantage is just the price of insurance product. So if you look at the legal insurance coverage, it's 4 times more expensive than contents and even 8 times more expensive than liability coverage. And on top of that, young people, unfortunately, are less attractive for incumbent brokers. So at least in a short view. And why? Because the average insurance premium of a 30 years old is 3 times less compared to a 45-year-old customer. So as a broker, where would you invest your time? So less money to spend, comparable high prices for legal coverage, and less attractive for traditional brokers. And that combination seems to lead to an unequal access to legal coverage for the younger generation. So next slide, please. So we just talked about personas before, and I want to take you on a little trip as well. So also access to legal coverage seems not equal the cost of legal services. So let's take a look at Lisa, so 30 years old with an income of about 45K per year, and Rainer, a very successful insurance CEO with a way higher income than that. And both had, unfortunately, the same heavy car accident with a claim compensation for pain for about, let's say, 6,000 euro. But unfortunately, the accident causer doesn't want to pay. And we all know at legal court, all humans are equal, meaning equal in costs as well. So both Lisa and Rainer have the same legal costs of more than 2,000 euro. But as we have seen before, the chance for legal coverage in advance is unequal. And that's exactly where we jump in. Next slide, please. So our solution is to delight customers with a novel experience built on fully digital rails, just as the younger generation is used to it from Amazon, Airbnb, or Booking. So why should there be a difference for legal insurance? So first, we offer all coverage at a fingertip with our app-first experience. And our vision is to be the one-stop insurance shop for the new generation, just as Amazon is doing it today. From a customer perspective, buy, manage, and claim should be as easy as ordering food from Lieferando, all within seconds laying on the couch. No barriers for customers. And at least, and that's something we really have to work on, is we need various data-driven pricing models where we can just offer the best value for our money. And that means that we are able to evaluate the risk. So actuary is very important, but we have to give the positive impacts of digitalization back to the customers. And that's how they will gain the best value for the money. And that's what we stand for. And I strongly believe that the combination of these 3 aspects can be a big step towards more equal access to legal coverage, but to all other kinds of coverage as well. Next slide, please. So for the younger generation, I would say they like what we do. what you see here is our market share in the millennium segment in Germany, and it's pretty much higher than the incumbent insurance companies such as AXA or Allianz. So at the moment, that's exactly what the customers at that age are looking for. And the next thing is, when you look at the average age of our first-time legal customers, it's about 30 years. And that is significantly lower compared to everything that the old economy is looking at. And I mean, there are many reasons for that. One, from my point of view, of course, is that customers just like the easy way how to handle the product. But still, and that's where I totally agree to Roger, we still have to do a lot of work of really understanding products, terms and conditions and stuff like that. So there might be a way where it's not digital only, but where you get a service in person as well. So next slide, please. So today, GetSafe is the biggest neo-insurer in Europe, but to be honest, we are still at the start of our journey. We now have more than 250,000 customers from Germany and the UK who trust in what we do. And we strongly believe when you are a fully digital company that it must be pretty easy to offer your products across borders as well. So far, 1 out of 3 of our customers have more than one product. So they start with one product, let's say liability, for example, and within our app, they choose the other offers we have as well. Yeah, we raised more than 100 million in venture capital. So there are some people out there who believe that it might be successful what we do at the moment. And at least, and that's very special, I think, about GetSafe, we have more than 150 GetSafies, that's how we call us, from more than 30 countries in the world with an average age of 28. And a little footnote, with 37, I'm the second oldest in the company, which is a nice feeling as well. Yeah, as I said, we are on a journey and it's still a very long way to go, but we feel being on the right track. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward for the Q&As.
Questions? Who shall start? Anyone? Please hit the microphones. Now you have the opportunity to really get down to the business. How do they do it? One control question to you first, Roger. Do you actually offer better access to justice in your model, or is it just about the branding, the technology, and those things?
The advantage, because we are a subscription, is that you only pay 1 month. It's even for younger people that don't want to spend 200, 300 Swiss francs in one time. It's easier for them just to buy it, to have it.
Okay.
And we definitely have the problem that that you have the adverse selection, that you get people that have already problems. But we try to A, inform the client that those problems are not covered, and B, we cover for them a small legal advice that should be something limited, like 15 minutes phone call. That's included. But all the existing problems are not covered. And we try to explain when you buy the product, it's the first information you get. Check all your legal problems that you already have will never be covered with this insurance.
How do you cope with that, Michael? Do you have any challenges there with this problem?
No, I think Roger's told you right, first of all, and that's why we offer daily cancellation at the moment. So it's even it shouldn't be a hassle for the customer to decide for a coverage or not. And the second one, risk selection, is totally right, but I strongly believe the problem is even bigger when you are just offering one insurance product as legal. So what we do is we don't look at the product, but we look at the customer in total. And it might be that you get risk aversion in your company when you do the underwriting, but still you're talking maybe about a good customer in total because he can buy car and liability and stuff like that as well. And yeah, that's the way how we try to help the customers. But Roger is right. There's still a lot of people who look for legal insurance online already have a problem, because not most of the people wake up in the morning and think it would be great to think about legal. And that is something where we have to get better with our underwriting. It's not to accept the customer, it's to find solutions for that customer as well.
Thank you. We have a question behind there, Eva?
Hey, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it works. Yeah, looking at the presentation, the justice data on male and female purchasing patterns of insurance, I mean, that's absolutely shocking. And I was wondering if you had any further insight, or did you delve into why the purchasing patterns? I mean, I think I would expect there to be more male than female, but not by, what was it, 3 times, 4-fold?
No, it's 2/3, 1/3, something
Wow,
like that.
okay, well, still a lot.
The insurance that we sell most are the one that covers the whole household. And I think Switzerland is still a traditional market, and then just the man in the household buys the insurance. I don't know. But this is something definitely that we have to work on, because it's somehow strange. Especially the same percentage is also if we look at the single insurances, or even there we see that we have a lot more male insured than female.
Do you think that will change with future generations? Will that shift?
I hope so. It's difficult. And I don't know what the really reason is. I don't know if female think that they don't need legal insurance. I don't know.
Less argumentative, that can't be the reason.
Let's see. I want to go back to the services again, because what we sell is actually help from a lawyer. And I don't know quite how this is regulated in Switzerland and Germany, but do you also control that market, part of the market, or is that just something that the customer chooses themselves?
No, because in Switzerland, we try to handle all the legal cases in-house.
Okay.
That's a big difference with Germany.
Yes.
If you have the justice insurance, you have to register the claim digitally on the website, meaning we already have first chance to decline some cases, or to even give them free advice on the website. If it's a standard situation, give them standard documents that could help them, that they don't need to register the claim. And then when they register the claim, we automatically create a digital file where the lawyers have access to, and they handle this digital file.
Okay. How's that with you, Michael? Because it's different in Germany, I know.
Yeah, it's different. Within the MGA model, we are super lucky to have probably one of the best and coolest risk carriers for legal insurance in Germany as our partner. So at the point where there's a point within the value chain where the customer leaves Get Safe and goes over to the risk carrier. But we try to do that with a digital file as well. And being part of the risk carrier and being part of that great partnership also means that we can use their networks with probably a group of best lawyers in Germany. And that's the way how we try to set the customer.
And we have seen actually that you really are targeting the generation X and Y, or Z, and Y and Z, and it seems like you're successful, both of you. Was that targeted? Was that the plan all the time, or was that just a benefit of going with an app and very much online?
I don't think that for us, the Z is really a target group yet. I think we have to wait there 5-6 years. I think, you need money to have the insurance. A lot of the sets are already covered with their parents. Even if in our justice insurance, even if you don't live with your parents, you're still covered with insurance if your parents have the insurance. Meaning, for a lot of young people, it's not really needed to have their own insurance. And what you see, and also in the graph, I think if you're older than 25, it starts to get more interesting. What we don't sell is the car, the insurance part. Only that one, because I think that one you definitely, if you have a car insurance, there you add the legal insurance part for the traffic. We sell the combination product, but I think you need to have some income and some age to really need that.
Yeah. But you, Michael, you're also...
Can I ask something about the subscription model?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes, can I ask something about the model?
Yes.
Because you're just saying you only get 50 minutes advice. That's in the subscription. So how customers experience when they have to pay more, when they need more advice?
No, but those 15 minutes are for the problems you already have.
Okay.
It's only for that. If the problem is really covered with insurance, you get the normal what you get with every LPI.
Yeah, but
It's
you
only for those
have-
existing problems. There you get this 15 minutes.
Okay, but if you only have the subscription and not the insurance, or
No,
that's
no,
not
our
possible?
insurance is a subscription.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
And what we see is that the people pay 1 month in front, and it automatically renews with the credit card for every month. And most people just don't cancel. There's no reason to cancel. It's not so that they stay shorter with us because we are a monthly subscription than with the normal insurance.
Great.
We also just heard that emotions matter and the branding. Do you have an active strategy on that, on the brand and the emotion for your target groups? Will you start, Roger?
Yeah, we have a lot of content on our website that helps to drive people to our website. You can also have a free account on our website. And what we see is that the period between the moment that you have the first contact with us and when you buy the insurance is approximately something like 2 or 3 months. Okay. Meaning that those people that really have the problem and want to have insurance now are really only a small group people that really buy the insurance. Mostly other people are thinking, or they have another insurance. If you have another insurance with another company, you probably have a 1-year contract or 2 or 3 years contract. And first you have to cancel that one, and then you can buy our insurance.
Michael, how's that with you, with emotions and the branding?
It's interesting because, I'm an old school insurance guy. And I start to learn all about that. But for us, it's super important as a company. And the reason is pretty easy. It's like we don't really believe that we are able to make certain insurances more interesting for 26-year-old people. But what they need is they need the feeling to really get safe. And that's why our company is called like that. And all our branding is set to transport that feeling to our customers. And I mean, if you look at our customers, and the ratio of men and women is a bit more equal, at least for the first-time buyers product, just as legal and content. It's like most people are not that informed about the terms and conditions and the product itself, so they have to feel that they are in a good decision, and that Get Safe helps them whenever help is needed.
But how do you market that, Michael, as an app? I mean, it's not normal. I mean, there are 10,000 apps on App Store. How do they get your customers to collect your app instead of the other app or a non-app at all?
So first of all, we use more sales channels than just let's say paid or direct. So we work with aggregators as well, and we do a lot of content as well. And the good thing is that our app is ranked really, really high. So if people go to the App Store, they look at the app, and I mean, just think about yourself. When you see a low rated app, you wouldn't install it. And that's part of our marketing game. That it's really, if the customer, whatever he wants to do, if it's buy or manage or claim, it has to be as easy as buying something from Amazon. And that's what we want to transport to Germany, to the UK, and to many other countries as well.
Do you see any actuary challenges with your business? I mean, with the short-term contracts, people getting buying from app, you don't control the client. Roger first, please. Sorry, Michael, we do the start. Continue.
I think yes, and that's a very long-term goal. I mean, Rainer Brune said that morning, if you are not part of the game, you're not part of the game. And that's pretty much to get it to the point about the digital business. And it's a long-term game because you have to learn with your customers. You have to improve in your data skills and your actuary skills and stuff like that. But I mean, we're here to learn, and I think we're on a good track. And the internet won't be gone tomorrow. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So there's nothing else to do than just trying to get better every day.
Roger?
Yeah, I think the same. We are really an agile organization. We have our own development teams, and our product is changing every 2 weeks, and we have to adapt. And our product, or how we present it now, is different than what we had in 2017, and it will definitely be in 2 years. And therefore, Generation Z for us is not yet a target group, but it will be definitely. And then we have to change and we have to adapt. But that's where we are good in adapting.
And then I want to know, what are the trends then coming up? Tell us, Roger. You don't know?
You will see.
We'll see.
We have to be fast as soon as we know.
Yes. Any other questions? Please.
Yes, well, it's maybe I got an answer partly because my question was about claims, because what I heard both of you telling, like 99% of the time was about the buying process and about how simple it is and how convenient it is and so on, but nothing about claims, unless it was said that it's the moment of truth, and it's also what I believe. So am I right that when it comes to claims, you didn't change anything at all compared to how other traditional insurers do it, and that the difference you make is rather in the buying process and not in the, let's say, after sales or the claims service that you provide?
Because you have to register our claims digitally. It's really digital. Because when you go on our website and you can click there on register a claim, you can walk through the whole process and you see a big part of it. And you see that the website already gives some advices and already explains you if it's probably covered or not. And this really helps to already have the correct information from the client that you need to answer his questions.
So from our perspective, just to give you a feeling, it's like at the moment we invest about 70% of our resources and capacities just only on the claims process. And the reason for that, I mean, we have several products and not every TPA can be compared to the other and stuff like that. But the reason is pretty easy. We strongly believe that happy customers bring new customers and bring new products as well. So what our goal is that from the first notice of loss, which is totally digital, to that's the possibility we now have with the full stack insurer, the full regulation process shouldn't take longer than 7 to 10 days in total. And that is pretty much really faster than that is not what the customer is expecting. But that is something we really have to work on. And if you look at industry numbers, you're at least something between 50 and 80 days when it comes to liability, for example. So you see how super fast the claims process can be. But yeah, that's a huge investment. And as Roger said, you have to be very agile and you have to be able to do product development processes, which don't take 1 year, so do it in 6 weeks. Otherwise, you won't meet that experience.
Thank you. Have you had any challenges? What's been the hurdles in your innovative business, both of you? What's the main challenge when you started? Roger first.
The lawyers.
The lawyers, as always. Michael. Also the lawyers.
Or it's more like, when you work for a startup, there are 100 million different opportunities, and it's more difficult to say no to opportunities than saying yes. So staying focused on what you really want to do. And I mean, as I said, the customer experience is our DNA. But still, I mean, you could do 15 different products, 10 different countries and all of that. But at least we are only 150 people. And for us as well, cash is limited. So you really have to focus on what you want to do. And that is what you believe. And what you believe, you have to invest. And that can be not so easy sometimes.
Sorry, can I interrupt? Because I just need to verify if I understood it correctly. It was for Get Safe. The claims process, was the claim handled so from A to Z within 8 to to 15 days, or is it just the opening of the claim?
No, that is the full handling time for content and for liability product. For legal product,
not
it
for
takes a bit
legal.
longer. No, for legal, it's a bit
Okay.
longer. That is
And how
the-
much is a bit longer?
It pretty much depends on the case, to be honest. I mean, the variation is
Thank you.
very high. Yeah.
Okay, but then once it's going into the content of the claim, is it the communication is fully digital still, or?
I think that's the part of the value chain where there's still a lot to do. Because that is, as Roger said, where it starts with combination with the lawyers, where the risk carrier takes in, where you have to work with courts who are not digital at all. And that is where the process takes longer.
Okay, and how do you handle the expectations of your clients that are very expecting speediness, and that the legal world is not delivering that, and it's a bit out of your hands? How do you?
What we do is like the biggest group in our companies are developers, which is good. But the second biggest group is service and claims. And for us, it's just super important to be on the line directly and to help the customer, because the really proof of a coverage, and if you understand the coverage, comes within the claims and maybe what we call the first step of service as well. And yeah, you have to take the customer by your hand. And I don't believe that we will have an insurance model which is 100% digitalized, because I don't think that's right. Because it's still, when you think about other companies, like let's take the example Amazon again, everything you do without having problems is digitalized. But once you have a problem, you have someone on the phone within a second as well. So for me, it always will be a hybrid model, but it's an app first model. That's how we do it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then we're out of time. Thank you so much, Roger and Michael, for your inspiring thoughts here about the future for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Greetings to Vienna.
We will then have a 10-minute break. So get back.